a thread of memories. Monsters here are imbued with memory petals. Defeat them to absorb this power, which can be unleashed as a special ability during combat. Different maps on the thread have different abilities, and these abilities appear on an additional mini skill bar next to your regular skills. The maps can have more than one memory, and thus you can have more than one powerful ability. As you defeat the boss of each map along the thread, you are presented with an altar. This altar will apply a modifier to all following maps in the thread, and these will stack as you go. With these, you can access a set of 3 new pinnacle bosses. After defeating all 3 new pinnacle bosses, you'll be able to find new memory-influenced Tier 16 maps. Items in these maps can drop with memory strands, and will have a random amount, up to 100. When you identify the item, it will increase the tiers of modifiers your item has. Whenever you're crafting that item using currency orbs to replace or add modifiers, it will consume some memory strands to make the crafted mods more powerful. The new pinnacle bosses also drop new crafting currencies, which can be used to manipulate the amount of memory strands on an item. The Orb of Remembrance will let you add memory strands to any normal equipment. The Orb of Unraveling will consume all remaining memory strands on an item to randomly upgrade its mod tiers. This orb's effectiveness is based on the number of memory strands it consumes. The Orb of Intention can be used on memory-influenced maps to reduce item drops, but improve the chance to find items with memory strands. An overview of the mercenary you've encountered. Here, you can see the gear they have equipped, the skills they employ, and any support effects augmenting those skills. You must now make a choice. You can hire their services, take one of their items, or exile them. If you choose to hire them, for a gold cost, they will accompany you as a skilled combatant to assist you in fighting monsters throughout Rayclast. Sometimes you may meet particularly infamous Trathan mercenaries, bearing the name of their house. They are less common, but have far better items. And they are also the sole source of items with new, infamous modifiers, unseen before in Rayclast, such as these gloves, which convert all of your minions' fire damage to chaos damage. This sniper is using a Trathan version of Siege Ballista. If you're lucky, you will be able to select it as your reward when challenging them. Then defeat them, and they'll drop the Trathan gem as promised. Any of your mercenaries you have active, or in your reserves, can have their equipment replaced with items of your choosing. If you keep running into a mercenary archetype and you think, man, this guy stinks, their gear is trash and they have no auras, you can then choose to exile them. If you win the duel, you won't encounter that archetype again for a while. The Kalguran ports will be sending back rune grafts. These are similar to tattoos, but instead of replacing stat nodes, they replace a passive tree mastery node. Given the existing recombinating mechanic was very powerful for top-end crafting, we didn't want to remove it. We have kept it, and you can now choose to use it the old way, or the new way. This method allows you to decide which modifiers on the 2 input items you want to try merge together, and it has a success chance you can see. This method can result in the items being destroyed. However, it is a good option to use when trying to create items with fewer mods to use as crafting projects. We've split out the mastermind to be completely separate from the core mechanic. The boss is now accessible through a new fragment that has a chance to drop from the safehouse leaders at high levels. The mastermind no longer resets the state of the Immortal Syndicate. The mastermind still has a chance to drop a Veiled Orb, now renamed to Veiled Exalted Orb. Veiled Chaos Orbs are being re-added to other safehouse leaders. In addition, the Mastermind now drops the new All Flame Embers, map fragments that replace monster packs and endgame maps with different types of special monsters. You can now pause the game at any time by pressing Escape to open the menu, or by opening any full-screen interface, like the passive tree. We're also making a change to how you use currency items on strongboxes and monsters imprisoned in essences. Based on the currency in your inventory and the state of the strongbox, these buttons will appear. Valuable currency like Divine Orbs have been excluded from this as it would often be wasteful to use in this context. The same applies to essences with the Remnant of Corruption currency.